Bucks may be physically a little larger than all the Chiefs. The Chiefs have, let's see who the co-captains are. For the Chiefs, looks like John Reimer as one of the co-captains out there tonight. We'll quickly run down the starting lineup. And Brian Guest, one of the others. Is it Melvin Robinson? And maybe James Burnett. Now for the North Jackson Chiefs, opening at center, number 67, Thomas Hicks, 5'9", 160, and a senior. The guards will be number 55, sophomore Alan Keller at 175. Over on the other side, Brian Clark. He's 5'9", a junior at 166 pounds. The tackle will be number, over on the other side, done an outstanding job as a receiver, as well as a blocker and a punishing linebacker for the North Jackson Chiefs. In the backfield, number 42, the do-it-all tailback, number 42, David Holloway, 5'8", 154 pounds. Dave is a senior, one of the top scorers in the area. Starting 11 for our Chiefs, number 13, senior quarterback Patrick Vincent at 6 feet for 359 yards. Of course, the leading ball carrier for the Chiefs, David Holloway, 117 carries for 924 yards. The Chiefs will receive the football, and Bobby Mitchell down at the safety over on the far side. As the place kicker for the Bucks will put it on.
Had to move back to the middle of the field.
And we've seen several of these teams do that. And driving the ball is Buckhorn downfield. Sammy Matthews at the 18-yard line. He's to the 20. On a penalty play across the 25, up to the 30, out to the 31-yard line, and down he goes. Knockoff is 51 here in the first period of play on their own 30-yard line. Got a split backfield behind Patrick Vincent. Wide receiver White to the left. Matthews and Holloway with a wing tee to the right. Here comes Holloway. He's to the right. He's to the left. He's back to the right. Dances up to the 33, 34-yard line. Knocked down over there by number 82, Tellis Langford, a sophomore end. 4 yards on the play. Wide side of the field is to the left. Chiefs moving right to left here in the first period of play, facing a 6-man line. As Matthews runs it straight ahead this time, out to about the 38-yard line. He'll be a yard or 2 yards shy. Well, I don't really expect to see anything fancy here early.
Nothing early, George. I think he's just going to line up, run straight at them, and see if our line can whip the defensive line for the Bucks.
They run the 6 to the 38.5. Pat Vincent with the ball, and the Chiefs have the first down out to the 45-yard line. And it looked like Sammy Matthews stepped across to the left side slightly and just run it straight ahead for about 7. Chiefs with first down number 1. 15 yards now on the ground, out just at the 45-yard line. Wing tee is to the right, got a wide receiver off to the left. Pat Vincent has the wide side to his right to work with. Pat takes the ball, faces a 6-man line. Holloway to the right, big hole. He's to the 50, he's to the 45. He will score. He's down the sideline to 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Chief touchdown on the board, 6-0.
And once he
will try the extra point. The snap, the placement, the kick. Looks like it's a beauty, and it is. We got a timeout on the field. Our score: the Chiefs leading 7-0 with 10-12 to go in the first quarter. We'll be back in 30 to 7-0 on a 55-yard Holloway run. 4 plays, 70 yards. Moore ended the point after, and the Chiefs lead 7-0. Moore moves on the ball. He kicks it long downfield. And it'll be taken, I believe, by Marcus Friend. He cut back to Picard around the right, and he gets turned topsy-turvy at the 20-yard line. Good hit over there by the North Jackson Chiefs' Brian Robinson. Brian's been in a lot of special team plays, and did he ever hit him? Our Chiefs now on defense for the first time at the 21-yard line here in the first period of play, leading 7-0 with 10 minutes to go. They line up in the Notre Dame box with a power set to the right side this time. Have the blocking back in motion. Hand it to the fullback coming off the right tackle for about 3, maybe 4 up to the 25-yard line. And the Chiefs, Bobby Mitchell into the play. And Shavers along with Mershon over there. And Brandon Champion, the outside linebacker, to the left. Trying to encourage the down lineman up there. The Chiefs will go with a 4-3. It's been very successful all through the season. As the Notre Dame box is the deployed offense once again. The blocking back moves a little bit to the left. Now in motion goes the blocking back. It goes to the tailback, Picard. Brandon Champion knocks it down for a loss of 3 back there. And the defensive end played it beautifully. Pushed the 2 blockers outside, opened the hole for the linebacker, and he stuck his head and dropped him for a loss of about 3. Boy, that's the way you draw it up also.
That's right, George. You know, Coach talked this afternoon about, excuse me, doing a lot of reading. Brandon made a good read that time, and he just made good penetration, good play.
And it's back to 3rd down and 9. And Marcus Friend can do wonders with the football. We saw on the film that he is able to run or throw, and he's lined up in the tailback position this time. And we've got Picard out to the left. They snapped at the fullback, a momentary bobble the ball, and he'll be hit and dropped for another loss. And who got to him first? I believe it was Tracy Walker over there. And Floyd, what's the blocking break? The 17-yard line. And kicking the ball away, and the Chiefs don't even have anybody back there. That may be got a wing tee to the right. Holloway is the tailback, the fullback, Sammy Matthews. So the ball is handed straight ahead to Sammy, and he blasts inside the 45 on down to about the 43-yard line. Knocks out this trouble. And we got a 2nd down and about 5 after a gain of 5 by Sammy Matthews. Wide side of the field is to the left. A little trap play inside. Holloway's got it. He's got 5. He's got 10. He bounces to the right, back to the left. Good fake, good move. He's to the 30. He's on into the 25-yard line. What a run. He set up a couple of blocks and made
there, you know, he made 2 of them run together, you know, and do their own blocking for him. He just got great moves, and he's got good head, and the feet follow that head.
And he had some good blocking up front to spring him early. We've got a wing tee to the right, wide side of the field to the left. Pat Vincent steps under. Here he comes, back, looks, shoots, complete. And it's to the 15. He's to the 10, Champion into the end zone for the touchdown. That's one of those beauties, a little short one across the middle. Touchdown, and our Chiefs on the board once again. Steve Moore will try to add the extra point, and
block, number 8 block.
And it's blocked by the quickie, David Picard.
Pretty good protection that time. That block 2 of the boys over there pretty good. Leave step back inside of it.
Pat Vincent completed the pass for the touchdown to Brandon Champion, covered 23 yards. It was a 3-play, 48-yard drive. A couple of good runs there. David Holloway on a beauty of an 18-yarder. Steve Moore has his extra point try and block, but he kicks it long downfield, and it'll be taken and fumbled. Picked up by the Bucks, and down goes the ball carrier Hard, who got to him first around the 20-yard line. And it was Alonzo Eldridge. Or is that 36, Lamar Stewart? Robinson is in over there.
They want to make things happen, and so often they do make the things happen.
They spot the ball at the 18-yard line, so officially he's going to have about a 6 or 7-yard return. We'll give him credit for 7. They're backed up on their own 18 with 6 minutes and 15 seconds to go here in the period, trailing 0-13 now. The Chiefs set in their standard defense, and in motion, here comes the tailback. Back shoots a pass downfield. It'll be intercepted by the Chiefs. And who's got it? Chris Stewart. He's to the left. He's at the 40, 35, back to the 30. He's down the sideline to the 25 to the 20. He may score. He's to the 10. He's to the 5. He jumps into the end zone, and the Chiefs lead 19-0. What a play. Boy,
George, that was a perfect example of the tip drill that we see, you know, in practice. Looked like the guy might catch the ball. It's certainly catchable, but he...
ago, when Chris Stewart followed his blockers beautifully, waited when he needed to, and turned it on when he needed to, and got into the end zone.
He did, and that's so important to wait on your blocking, pick up your blocking, and that's what it can do for you when you follow that block.
And he took it 45 yards on the tipped interception and into the end zone, and the Chiefs will go for 2. And here comes Pat Vincent. He rolls off to his right. Will he keep it? Will he try to get into the end zone? He's clotheslined, and he gets in. And the Chiefs lead 21-0. Great read. And he just stretched out and tiptoed across the line.
George, a real good on into the end zone. Good play.
Heady play and a beautiful read. The Chiefs lead 21-0 now, so we'll be back after this.
That was a good run.
Yeah, he waited at the right time.
That old Pat done a good job. He hit him by the line of scrimmage. He just kept going.
Back at Newmarket High School, as the Chiefs prepare to kick off, and we may have to get out our full roster once again tonight. Steve Moore drives it long, downfield, taken in there by Marcus Friend, back up across the 15 to the 20, out to the 23, 24-yard line. And he is spilled over on the far side of the field. A host of Chiefs specialty team players get to him early. I see number 61 down there. That's the kicker, along with Mark Ake. Boy, if the Bucks had any question about the ranking of the Chiefs, it's probably all gone by now.
It certainly is, George, and I think this series of downs right here will determine if they don't make a first down, then I think the spirit of the offense certainly is going to be broken here early.
And the blocking back in motion to the right, and here comes the running back with the best run of the night for the Bucks. That's Ricky Williams, a sophomore, and he runs it around the right side and gets up across the 30-yard line and may have a first down.
That's a good run, man.
Good run by the sophomore running back. And they get their first down of the night. As they move it from the around the 18 or 19-yard line forward for about 12. And first down, number 1 for the Bucks. Now Picard in motion to the left. And here goes the running back. He's open across the 45 to the 50, out to the 49-yard line in Chief territory. And he's tackled by Brandon Champion.
Come on, Coach.
As about the time you think you've got this offense bogged down, then here they come with a couple of big plays, and suddenly they're out to the 50-yard line. So, boy, you see the capabilities of that offense.
It certainly does, George. You know, we thought if they held them, you know, we might have broken the spirit, but no, they're coming back strong on this drive.
2 plays, 2 first downs inside Chief territory. Goes to the big fullback once again. He's straight ahead for only a couple this time.
Boy, he got hit, too.
And he got blasted down hard.
Man coming up safety.
Looked like Mike Buchanan coming up from the safety slot and drilled him pretty good. Alonzo Eldridge and Tracy Walker had him stood up over there. And now we've got second down and about 7 yards to go. Still got 3 on the play. They've got 35 yards now. On 6 plays. Chiefs got 5 men up front this time, and in motion to the right comes Jones. And being chased down in the backfield, Marcus Friend for a big loss by the tackle. No, that was Shavers. James Shavers, who had gotten across from the end slot and dropped Marcus Friend in the backfield for a loss of at least 5 yards. Big play right there.
Certainly a big play in this drive. The Bucks seem to have the momentum, making the 2 big plays. Had this offensive drive going. James made a good play there. And let's see if this does stop the momentum.
As Picard lines up over at the right back in the Notre Dame box, runs to his left, gets the ball, he'll be hit, gets knocked loose from the football, and the Bucks get it back, but they lose back to the 41-yard line. Tracy Walker, playing it beautifully over there at defensive end, turned it in and knocked the ball loose at the same time, so it'll be 4th down coming now. 41-yard line. Boy, you can't ask for the defensive end to play it any better.
You can't, George, really. I was just going to comment, you know, we can't ask for any better play out of defensive end so far in this game.
On both sides, and the Bucks now will use timeout number 2. So with 2 minutes and 51 seconds left, the Chiefs send twin safeties back, Buchanan and Chris Stewart. As the Bucks use a timeout, we'll pause 30 seconds with a score of the Chiefs 21, Buckhorn 0. And in punt formation is Picard. The Chiefs have twin safety Buchanan and Stewart back. Good snap from center. The Chiefs load up to go after it. Good high, lazy spiral. Hits at the 20-yard line, and I think it went out of bounds, though, before it got that far, maybe around the 27 or 8. So the Chiefs will have field position this time. In case you just joined us, we've had 2 or 3 big plays already, 2 of them resulting in touchdowns. We'll recount those for you momentarily. Chiefs line up in a wing T to the right. Start this drive at their own 27 at 2:40 to go, first quarter. Benson with the ball, drops straight back, looks, shoots a long pass downfield. It'll be intended for Robinson, dropped right in his hands. Boy, it was a little off balance, but it was a catchable pass.
It was a catchable pass. He kind of had to turn around and look over the other shoulder a little bit, and I think he just lost concentration. It was a catchable ball. Good throw by Pat.
Once again, that might be one of those passes you're setting up another play with, and the Chiefs now second down, and would like to see them pass on first down. Keep the defense honest for certain doing that. As the Bucks in a 6-2 defense, the Chiefs have Holloway in motion. Give the ball to Sammy Matthews. He's got 5. He's got more than that. He's up to the 34-yard line. Maybe the 35 as Sammy runs it straight ahead. Out of the fullback position. So that leaves us with 3rd down and 3 to go. Give him a gain of 7. That's an even 100 yards for our Chiefs now in the first quarter on the ground. Wing T right, wide side of the field is to the left. Line of scrimmage, the 35-yard line. Benson has the wing back in motion. Here comes Holloway. He's to the right. Drives it forward for the first down. Gets it out to the 38. Boy, they look like they had him at the line, maybe a slight distance behind the line of scrimmage, and the little guy just popped it on in there for the first.
Well, he has that ability, George. I see gain out of it.
First down and 6 for the Chiefs. 44-yard line, or 39-yard line it is. Benson has it to Mitchell, coming to the left on the wing back reverse, and he fumbles the ball, and Buckhorn, I think, may have it. Yes. Mitchell fumble on the wing back inside play, and the Bucks come up with it. The recovering the fumble is Danny Nash, the senior lineman, and that gives the Bucks the best field position of the night that they have enjoyed at the 46-yard line in Chief territory. Big break there for the Bucks, boy.
A big break for the Bucks, and I think now we'll see if they can put something together here and sustain this drive for the 45 yards.
And the little spinner. Marcus Friend with the ball, runs it across the 45 onto the 43-yard line. Knocked down by James Burnett, Harris, and Champion, along with Eldridge and Rashawn.
I believe the North Jackson coaching staff has done a tremendous job looking at these films and breaking down this offense, because really our defense, they look like they're ready for anything that they're running.
And it looks like when the play first starts, the defense may be beaten, but then all of a sudden it closes on them.
I think that may be some of the reading they do, the coach talked about, before they make their move. They got to read and make sure what they're going to do.
And Ryan Jones, the blocking back, hands it straight ahead to the big running back, and he breaks it across the 40 on down to the 35 into the 33-yard line, hit by Chris Stewart and Mitchell. But this Bart Middleton, the senior running back it is, has given him a first down all the way down to the 32-yard line. So now the Bucks with their 3rd first down. And if they keep this up, they're going to get it on the board. We've got 32 seconds to go in the first quarter. As they run the Notre Dame box once again, Picard around to the left side. He's to the 30 on into the 28-yard line. Hit by Burnett along with Mitchell. And they're running the little reverse series now, the spinner series they call it. Picks up 3 big yards on the play.
Bobby Mitchell did a great job that time. He played off the blocker and still got in and helped make the tackle.
Second down, 7 yards to go. And the officials indicate a momentary timeout as the quarter will come to a close at that juncture, back in 1 minute. And they've got the Notre Dame box with a power to the right side. The ball goes to Marcus Friend. He'll keep it on the run to the right. He has some running room. The marker down, but he runs it for about 5, maybe 7 yards down to around the 20-yard line. I don't know what this call will be, but it looked like it's in the area to be against the offense. Good run that time, regardless.
A good run, George, and to me that reminds me of the old power plays, the single wing used to run, just center it back to the guy. He lines up, runs behind his interference, just good, powerful run.
And they're talking with the North Jackson Keefe co-captains on the first play of the second quarter. He'd run the ball down to the 20-yard line, but the penalty will be stepped off from the 25. And it's one back out to the 35-yard line. So that's the first penalty of the game, goes against the Bucks. And now it's second down and 13 yards to go. It's a long 13. Friend set deep, runs a little spinner, runs to the second back around. He's got running room. He's to the 25, he's to the 20, down to the 15, to the 10. And he'll have the first down yardage.
George, that was a good run that time by Buckhorn and good execution on that play.
From the 35, ran it all the way inside the 10 down to the 8-yard line. 27 yards on that one. Another big first down, and it's first down and goal to go now. Or is that outside the 10-yard line? It's difficult to see the yardage markers. It's about the 12-yard line or 13-yard line, so it will not be first and goal. It's first and 10. Friend with the ball, runs it to the right, little running room, cuts outside, and gets hit near the line of scrimmage, or maybe slightly behind the line by Harris. But he's still got 2 yards in the play down to the 10.
Ed Harris made a good open field tackle that time.
And they run that little reverse, giving it to the wingback, coming from his right to his left, and it caught their defensive end, blocked him inside that time. Boy, the first time they've done that tonight.
Indeed, they had taken the defensive end out of the play. Ed came up. Like I said, I thought he made a good tackle in open field.
And they have the Notre Dame box. Friend hands the ball back to Bart Middleton, and he drives it off the right side for a couple of more yards. So he gets it down to about the 7-yard line now. Chiefs need to buckle up the hatches and hold them right here. Third down and 5 to go. It's a long at the Notre Dame box with a power to the right side. Here it comes on the double reverse, back to the right, and they may go into the end zone, and he will. As Picard runs it around the right side, and a little reverse play. We've seen it so many times in years gone by.
And it worked to perfection that time, George. You know, they really took the end out of the play, and when he turned the corner, he had clear sailing into the end zone.
7-yard touchdown run by Picard for 6 points, as they will attempt the extra point, and I think they'll kick the ball, and kicking it will be the man who scored, David Picard. Or maybe he'll be the holder, and he will. Bart Middleton will be the kicker. At the 10-yard line, high snap, and fake, shoots a pass out to the left side, and he'll be dumped in the backfield for a big loss. So the extra point, Michael Buchanan comes up from the safety, along with Alonzo Eldridge, and dump him for a big loss on the point after try. And the score will be pretty good drive, and boy, our coaching staff begin to pace the sidelines a little bit. 15-point deficit now for the Bucks.
Well, that's true, George. They kind of getting back into this ball game now because, you know, a couple big plays and they can be right back in this game.
And we saw what a turnover did against Franklin County. Picard kicks the ball downfield. It's a short kick. And the Chiefs pick it up over on the far side and get bumped out of bounds almost immediately out about the 25, 28, maybe the 30-yard line. We'll see where they finally spot it. Chiefs get about a 5-yard return, and we'll have the football. Last time the Chiefs got it across the midfield stripe and then fumbled it away. So they spot it down at the 27. That's where the Chiefs started previously. Need to get some more points on the board. A good, strong offense by the Bucks. Pat Vincent has a wing tee to the right. And here they come with a big hole. Holloway inside, outside. He's got 5. He's up across the 35. Out to the 40, and is bumped out of bounds at the 42-yard line. David Holloway brings it forward for 15 yards, first down number 7.
David, that time, George, is showing his speed. They had pretty good pursuit on him, but he just flat out ran it.
And first down, 10 yards to go, 42-yard line, wide side of the field is to the left. Pat Vincent steps under with a split backfield behind him. The wingback is over to the right. Here comes Sammy Matthews. He's got 5 to the 50. One man to beat. Stumbles into the 48-yard line.
Big hole that time. Sammy got tripped. Other than that, clear sailing.
Great blocking up front by the center guards on that play for it.
It certainly is, George, and my hat's off to this line. When you have a score like that, you come right back in and you just buckle down there and start blocking, do what you have to, move that ball.
Second down and a yard to go, 48-yard line in Buck territory. Swing tee is to the right. Vincent hands the ball to Sammy. He drives it ahead, 1st and 10. Down to the 46-yard line. Knocked down over there by Ryan Jones, along with Mike Holder for the Bucks.
George, you know, we heard that Buckhorn was not too real good on defense, and certainly early indications here were that they were not that strong. But really, now they have some big guys in that line.
And they show themselves capable on occasion. Wing tee is to the right once again. We've got Chris Stewart, the wing back. Here comes Holloway back to the right, steps over one, bounces outside, gets spun around and twisted out of bounds around the 45-yard line. Little or no gain on that play. Good defensive effort there by the Bucks, Scotty Cargile. David picked up only a yard on that one. Chiefs on 12 plays, 130 yards, but remember, 70 of that was gobbled up on one, or 55 on one run by David Holloway, completing a 70-yard drive. And it's second down and 9, 45-yard line in Buck territory. They're back to that 6-2 defense, and everybody up a little bit tighter this time. Here comes Sammy Matthews straight ahead. He's got 5 and crawls his way across the 40 into the 35-yard line.
George, good play calling on offense. Run one to the outside, back to the middle, pick up 10, 11 yards. Keeps the defense off stride. They really don't know where to line up and get their line off balance.
Boy, on 3 consecutive plays, Sammy Matthews had been one step away from the end zone.
He certainly has. And George, he keeps running like that, he'll break one.
And we've got it 1st and 10 inside the 35-yard line. Wing back right in motion. Here comes Sammy once again. He's belted down at the 31 as he steps into the thick of things there and gets about 3, maybe 4 yards on the play. Sammy down to the 30-yard line. Second down, 7. Ball almost in the middle of the field this time. Matthews and Holloway set behind Vincent. Pat rolls left, looks, shoots back to the right. It's completed pass down at the 21-yard line by Jason White. Another little short pass completed across the middle. I think that one will be there all night.
Georgette Patch is open, just down under the coverage a little, and Pat's doing a good job picking up those receivers.
Picking up 10 yards and a first down on the play. That's number 10 in that department also. First down, 10 at the 21-yard line. Wide side of the field is to the right. Chris Stewart, the wingback. In motion, Holloway to the right. Gives it inside to Matthews, and he's hit for no gain this time. Racked up by the interior of the Buck line. Gets it all the way down to the 21-yard line. Really no gain on that one. Jason White out of the game along with Chris Stewart. Got Bobby Mitchell back in. And Lamar Stewart out on the left side as the wide out. Wingback Mitchell wide over on the right side. Pat Vincent steps under with a split backfield behind him. Mitchell in motion. Handing the ball. Or looking downfield, and it's going in and out of the hands of...
Touchdown there, right in his
head. Yeah. Brandon Champion.
As Brandon Champion missed one. Yeah, we don't see that happen very often. He was all alone in the end.
Maybe he's thinking about celebrating in the end zone.
Anyway, it's third down and 10, and here comes the Chiefs. Mitchell runs it right back to the left. He spins and drives and gets it down to about the 16-yard line. May see that field goal try here. It'll be 4th down. I think I'd go for it. Boy, the Chiefs are 100% on 4th down tries for the season. It's not a bad average.
Well, when you've got a percentage like that, George, you know, I think you'd almost have to, you know, because let's do it until somebody stops us.
And here we come. We're going to try it on 4th down. We got Holloway and Matthews behind Vincent on 4th down and 7. Chris Stewart in motion. Here comes Vincent back. Looks, shoots a pass. It'll be completed to Sammy Matthews. He drives it in for the first down yardage, I believe, down around the 6. He's got the first down by about 5 extra.
Yeah.
Hauled it in, and those little short pass routes, we haven't seen those right underneath the secondary, and got a good average there, too, for him.
Certainly has, George. They look real good, you know. They
yards and should have been 4 or 5 for a touchdown. And here comes the Chiefs with the wide side left. Sammy Matthews running straight ahead, and he's blasted hard as he gets to the 5-yard line. Boy, if they're weak on defense, they're not weak in hitting power.
No, they're not weak. They really don't look that weak. You know, we're running over there with big Chris Marchand on that side, and they're making good penetration.
Great job that time of the defensive tackle, Ricky Herford, a big senior for the Bucks. And the Bucks outweigh the Chiefs across the front line. It's second down and goal to go from the 5-yard line. Matthews and Holloway behind Vincent with the wide side of the field to the left. Pat steps under, barks out the signals, and turns, hands to Sammy. He back to the left, back to the right, and drives it into about the 2-yard line before he is piled up down there. Picard coming in to put the final touch on the tackle. Sammy gets about 3. Chiefs with 152 yards, split wide left. Holloway and Matthews, the setbacks behind Vincent. Pat, back, Holloway, right, he'll score. Steps in untouched. Chiefs on the board again, 27-6.
Looked like he had 3 men down.
Buchanan to Hall, the snap, the placement, the kick, it is high, true, and good. Time out.
I would be surprised.
12 plays, 73 yards, and that's chalkboard style once again for it.
Well, that's just like he draws it up, George. Good execution by the offense. You know, that's the thing they had to do, and he felt like that probably we could offensively, we could outplay the defense. So far here, it's turned out that way.
And I noticed our coaching staff has calmed down a little bit over on the far side. They'd never admit that they pace that way.
Well, they won't admit it, but they were, George. They were pacing there a few minutes ago after that stroke.
Bucks after the kickoff, man, what a tackle. Who got that tackle down there that time? By the Chiefs. That's number 80, Melvin Robinson. Raced down, got there nearly by the time the ball did, and knocked Marcus Friend down. He caught it at the 18 and stretched him out at the 19. They'll give him progress to the 20, a return of 1 yard. Trailing now by 22 at 28-6. The old Notre Dame box. It goes to Friend. He's back to the left, back to the right, and he gets hit at the line of scrimmage. And let's see, the Chiefs have 11 players around the ball over there. Haven't seen that much gang tackling in a while either. When you see that many players in the backfield, you must consider you got a man short.
What did Coach say this afternoon, George, when they scattered? I believe they scattered on that play.
And it's second down, 10 yards to go. The backs are beginning to pay a price now for the Bucks. Second and 10, 20-yard line in Buck territory. Marcus Friend, he gives it on a little spinner straight ahead and blasting his way across the 25 up to about the 26-yard line, and a marker goes into the pile.
Like a face mask.
Maybe a face mask call against the Chiefs. Robert Collier is over in the area, and now they trot over to the coaching staff, and I think that was the indication.
Good hard run that time.
Middleton has done well each time he's carried the ball, and the Chiefs now get their, would you believe, first penalty of the game. 4:16 to go here in the second quarter. But once again, it was a major distance job, and that moves it for first down number 5 for the Bucks. Now to the 42-yard line after a 7-yard gain by Middleton. As it's at the 42-yard line. They're set in the box once again. Ball goes to Friend. Here he comes to Picard around the left side. The Chiefs get him after a gain on the play up to about the 49-yard line. Boy, you know what's coming. You can see it developing, but it's still hard to stop out of that offense.
It is hard to stop, George. You know, Bobby Mitchell was in good position that time. Of course, he was being blocked, but he did his job. He turned it to the inside, but he still picked up about 8 yards. A good play.
And that near the midfield strike. 3:25 to go. Notre Dame box, power to the right. Friend with the ball, hands to Middleton, straight ahead. 1st and 10 as he blasts inside the 50 and on down to about the 47-yard line. Picking up 4 on the play. Boy, the Bucks have been a big scoring team all season, and they're behind now, but they don't seem to be discouraged at all.
Well, they're not discouraged, George. You know, I'm kind of surprised at that. Normally, you get a team down 21 points, you know, halfway through the first quarter, then you certainly are going to have them down, but not here tonight. This team seems to come back and play with the same intensity.
They think they can score a lot, and score they might. Picard in motion to the left, fumble in the backfield, and I believe the Bucks get it back, but we'll be back around the 49-yard line. Somebody came across the middle, Alonzo Eldridge and Chris Rashawn and James Burnett. What happened on that play?
Holding on to the ball. I don't know if that's just in this game or they have a history of doing that.
They have had a history in the earlier games of fumbling in some of them. And Marcus Friend on the toss to the right goes to Picard, and he's dropped for a loss over there. Brandon Champion knocks him down for a loss of about 3, maybe 4 back inside Buck territory at the 49-yard line. That's been one of the problems for them all season, according to Coach Lally and the films that we saw. They fumbled against one team, I understand, 4 or 5 times inside the 10-yard line in a narrow loss.
Well, I know certainly here tonight they've had a lot of times when they didn't fumble, they bobbled the ball.
And for another scouting report efficiency was that Coach Lally said that if they had a good defense, they could have well been undefeated. And with this offense, if they had played powerful defense, he may have well been right. Notre Dame box with a man in motion, Picard, and motion penalty. I think he was started toward the line of scrimmage. They had set up a play position, had 2 men in motion or moving at the same time, and that's illegal at any league, except Canadian. 1:27 to go in the second quarter, 28-6 our score. The Chiefs may not take this penalty, we'll see. That's one of those, like we had over in Franklin County, the Chiefs, the option was with the official and not the team, and this time it should be an automatic, and it is. Should have been then, too. So that makes it second down from the 44-yard line. That's in Buck territory, and 19 yards to go. We may see them put it up this time. In the Notre Dame box once again, and they line a little bit deeper. Picard in motion and back to pass. Friend looks, shoots. Downfield. It'll be almost. He is intercepted by Stewart. He's at the 40. Down the sideline to the 50, 45, 35. He's at the 20. Cuts it back again. He's down to the 10, to the 5. He'll try to get into the end zone, and he will fumble the ball. And the Chiefs, I think, will recover for the touchdown. And who got it? Couldn't tell who got it, but I believe it was one of the single-digit numbers on a jersey.
It might have been number 2. He was there.
I believe it was Harris who came up with it, and until further confirmation, we'll go with Harris. As Chris Stewart made a beautiful run of about 65 yards, and then fumbled the ball down at the 2 or 3 yard line, and I think Harris was the man who came up with it for the Chiefs with 1:01 to go in the second quarter, and that may have put it out of reach. 34-6. Well, to give most of that TD to Chris.
Well, I think we should, really. He made a good catch on the ball and a beautiful run after he caught it.
And the snap, the placement, the point after try, looks like it's directed through the upright. At Buckhorn High School Stadium, with the Chiefs jumping out front now 35-6 on a Chris Stewart run of 65 yards and fumbling the ball. And I think Harris ran from the 7 back up to the 10, 15. He's out to the 18, 19, 20, 21-yard line. Piled up over there by number 20, Bobby Garner. And 2 or 3 others. Lamont back out to the 20. Will have the football, 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line, now down by 29 points, 35-6, with 55 seconds to go. That is, they played pretty well most of the time. Boy, it's kind of hard to imagine they're behind 29 points.
Well, it is. You know, really, they like you say, they played pretty well. They made some big turnovers. That pass really should not have been thrown.
And Picard back, Friend back, and handing it around to Middleton on a little delay up the middle. He's across the 25, 30, up to the 35, 30. Let's see where he was knocked out of bounds. They say around the 37-yard line. But once again, another nice run by the Bucks. Of 17 yards by the big back, Bart. Good deception in the backfield, and 41 seconds remains in the second quarter. The old Notre Dame bunch once again. Marcus Friend hands it around to the left side, and this time the Chiefs smell it and pile it up. Almost a late hit penalty there. Defensive end position, Alonzo Eldridge into the play. Almost certain that was Harris who got the fumble recovery for the touchdown down there for it. As the Bucks failed to gain. In fact, they lose about a yard on that play. 9 seconds, 8 seconds, the clock rolling, second quarter. Marcus Friend gets the ball, spins. Double reverse. Picard around the right side. He'll get hit and drop for a big loss by Harris back at the 23-yard line. So they lose from the 36 back to the 23. Mine Chiefs 35. And the Buckhorn Bucks 6.
Letting the younger guys play last week throughout that game. And then the week of practice, you're right, it is. They're back now, and they have some of the Christmas.
Toughness of that Gunnersville football team, that's another one I like to term a program builder, because they had a fine football program at Gunnersville for years, and they had another fine team this year. And a program builder for the Alabama citizenry as a whole will take place on November 6th in the general election. As a voter, you can vote, remember, for any candidate regardless of the party label. So Guy Hunt has made Alabama a good governor in his term of office. He has improved Alabama's image and created an atmosphere that attracts business and industry, that increases employment opportunities for all our people. So let's re-elect Governor Hunt on November 6th and continue our upward trend. Remember, the voters of Jackson County under his leadership has made progress in areas of industry and business, likewise providing economic growth to our area of the state. Governor Hunt has been governor for all the people. So on November 6th, go to the voting place and pull that lever for Governor Guy Hunt. Keep our state moving forward. Paid political advertisement by the citizens for Governor Guy Hunt. Dr. Ellie Holloway, chairman. At corner position, Chris Hines and Marcus Friend. They've changed a few of the numbers around. A lot of coaches do that. I think that's a negative type strategy myself for it.
Well, it is, George. Really, I don't know what they hope to gain with that, really. You know, they're trying to confuse, you know, by numbers. Really, they go out and play the position. I think that's what the defense keys on is position, not numbers.
And not only that, I've seen some number switches with lesser players put into some numbers get nearly killed.
Well, that's true. You can't see that happen.
As the Chiefs kick it off downfield, it goes to Friend. He comes up the field to the 15 to the 20, and he runs into an enemy out at the 27-yard line as Garner. It is Marcus Friend coming to the sideline. And he's been their workhorse in the backfield tonight for the Bucks. They'll line up with David Picard, a junior, moving into that slot. Notre Dame box, power to the right side, wide side of the field to the right. Picard, hands straight ahead. Nothing this time. It's 26-yard line. Low spinner out of the backfield, goes to Middleton. He runs it straight ahead, gets back to the 27-yard line, and that's all. Chris Stewart, Alonzo Eldridge, and looks like Tracy Walker in on the play. No gain once again. Unless they get something generated here early for you, it's over for the Bucks for certain this time.
Well, it is, Joe. You know, we normally talk about the first 5 minutes.
I want you to call a number there. Emergency. Who is that, you know?
Yeah. we get knocked off? About what time of the game? Okay, I'll hook you back up and we'll bring them up to date on it. Okay, that's all right.
How long been off though?
Since back in the first quarter.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, has that got us back? Okay. Okay. We're back at Newmarket, Alabama, Buckhorn High School. Sorry for the interruption of play there. It's been all Chiefs in tonight's game. And we start the third quarter. The Chiefs out front 35-6. And we understand that we were off there from the time the Chiefs had their second touchdown, so we'll quickly recap that as time permits. The Chiefs have just kicked off here in the third quarter and have held on fourth down and have the football now at the Bucks 37-yard line, and will put it in play from that point, leading 35-6. The Chiefs, Holloway ran it in on the first touchdown of the night, 55 yards for 6. Chiefs lined up, wing T to the right. Vincent steps under on 1st and 10. In the third quarter with 9:41 to go, running it straight ahead, not much running room there. And the second touchdown was a Vincent to Brandon Champion pass covering 23 yards. The kick was blocked. It was 13-0. Also in the first period with 5:55 left, Chris Stewart intercepted his first of 2 passes, ran it 45 yards for the touchdown. Vincent ran it in for 2 to make it 21-0. In the second quarter, 5:22 left, Holloway ran it over from 3. Moore kicked the extra point. It was 28-0. As the Chiefs come out, and we've got Chris Stewart in at quarterback now. Runs a halfback off the left side for little or no gain. The Chiefs going with some new stuff here in the second half, leading 35-6. And we'll be faced with 3rd down and 9 now. And the other touchdown in the second half came with 1:01 to go, as Chris Stewart intercepted his second pass, raced 63 yards, fumbled at the 2. It was recovered by Terrence Harris in the end zone, and the point after made it 35-6. Here comes the Chiefs to the right side. We've got a new running back in there also. It's Brian Robinson. He runs it down to the 30, maybe right on the 30-yard line, picking up about 7 yards on the play. Chiefs with 162 yards and 20 running plays. The only score of the night for the Bucks was on an 8-yard run by David Pickard, and the point after was blocked. So we've got Chris Stewart in, directing the attack on 4th down and about 3 or 4 yards to go at the 30-yard line. Chris with the ball, runs it back to the right side. Driving it is Thomas Hutchins down to the 28-yard line, and he'll be stopped shy by a couple of yards. So the Bucks will take over, and currently the Chiefs lead 35-6 as Hutchins runs it. And surely they're not going to measure that. I don't think that, or maybe they are bringing the sticks out. Boy, this is a good yard shot. I don't think there's a need to measure this one. Anyway, the Chiefs have dominated the ball game on both sides of the ball. Some big plays from the offense, and it was said it's at least a full yard and a half shy. The Chiefs, and of course the Chiefs had it out of sight nearly at that time, leading 21-0. And now lead 35-6. You can hear all the replay tomorrow morning over WBSV. And Pickard in at the quarterback position. He lines up deep in the Notre Dame box. Runs it on a little spinner out across the 30 up to the 34-yard line. We've got most of the reserves on the field offensively and a lot of reserves on the field defensively for the North Jackson. David Pickard now operating the offensive unit, as Marcus Friend, who ran it in the first quarter, was hurt on the opening kickoff of the third, and Bart Middleton runs it across the 35 up to the 39 and has his first down as he picks up 5 yards on the play. The Bucks on 26 running plays with 111 yards and have just picked up first down number 8. The Bucks have a pretty steady offense, don't play a lot of defense, and consequently trail 35-6. They've thrown 2 passes tonight, both of which were caught, but they were caught by Chris Stewart. Ran one back 45 yards for the score, ran one back 63, fumbled it to the end zone, and was recovered for a touchdown by Harris. So David Picard runs to the right and right into the arms of Chris Rashawn. And he knocks him down for a loss on that play of about 3. Boy, we were talking at halftime, and of course the fans didn't hear that either, about the development of this group of football players, the North Jackson Chiefs, and some individual development, and we really can't say enough about how far Chris Rashawn has come.
George, Chris Rashawn has really anchored that line this year. You know, he's furnished a lot of leadership and his ability to play. And you're right, you just can't say enough about Chris.
Big, strong kid, developed a lot of quickness this season. And here they come on that double reverse play once again, and it's picked up big yardage each time tonight, but this time the Chiefs move out and stop it for at least a short gain only, as it was run from right to left by Chris Hines, a senior split in. They've gotten as many as 8 and as much as 15 on a couple of occasions, and boy, the Chiefs haven't been able to stop that play tonight.
They haven't, George. You know, going back in the first half and there now, every time they ran that play, you know, they get some good yardage from it.
Picked up about 4 or 5 that time. 2nd down and 7 after a first, or should be 3rd down and 7 after a 2nd and 12. Anyway,
I think too, George, just good execution on their part.
Excellent blocking when they come back to the weak side. Once again, the spinner by Card around the right side, big yardage, a big hole across the 45, 50, on down to the 46-yard line, 1st and 10 in Chief territory. And of course, when they run that reverse from right to left, giving it to the sometimes first, most times second man, the split in coming back this way, that certainly makes it easy to block inside as they did on the next play that time.
It does. It does a setup. It does a real good setup job. It makes it easy for that blocker, and every time they ran that play tonight, you know, they get a good wall and they turn that corner, get good yards out of it.
You think being behind 35-6, we might be stretching it a little bit about their offense, but they have 9 first downs. The Chiefs have only 12. And here they come once again. Picard back on a pass play, shoots it out in the right flat. It is incomplete. Boy, that was a well-executed pass play. The player just missed the pass.
It was. It's in his hand. It's a good catchable ball. He should have caught the ball.
And Picard fires it out toward Mickey Brantley. A senior split in. He couldn't hang on to it. So they're 0 for 3 with 2 interceptions. In the passing department,
George, when your receivers drop passes like that, it really puts the pressure on that quarterback.
I think they may be a little bit shy about going long, though, after the previous interceptions. Back to pass that now. He goes long instantly, as we said that. And we're going to have an interference call this time. The pass was intended over there for a long, wide receiver going down the right sideline, and interference will be called on one of the Chiefs secondaries, either Harris or Buchanan, but either way, the Chiefs.
Well, that play was pretty obvious. You know, he went up one step too quick, I think, and he bumped the receiver before the ball got there.
Boy, all season long, and there goes the normal passing back into the game, Marcus Friend. But in the couple of passes that this reserve David Picard has thrown have really been closer to on target than the Marcus Friend passes.
They have, George. What he's been throwing has been good passes. He takes his time. He's got a good arm. They've been catchable passes. Every one has been catchable.
And now they move up to 10 in the first down department and move inside the 30-yard line at the 29, where they've got first down and 10 yards to go. And somebody gets hit hard in the backfield. It looks like Tracy Walker in on the play, defensively for the Chiefs, along with Marshawn. And no gain on that play. Paid a tough price to get back to the line of scrimmage that time. Stopped outside the 30. We're in the third period with 4:39 to go. The Chiefs leading 35-6. And Marcus Friend back in at the quarterback position. He pitches it forward, fumbles the ball down to the 30-yard line, and I think Buckhorn maintains possession, but that was a very ill-advised pitch. It sort of resembles the old shuttle pass, but they toss it right back in toward the center of the line of scrimmage, and it didn't touch anybody but the ground. And then finally one of the Bucks got on top of it at the 30-yard line with 4:02 left in the third quarter. That brings up a 3rd down and 10 situation. As Marcus Friend has them 3rd and 10. And there again, they come to the left with that reverse play, and this time he'll be hit for a loss. Boy, I believe we've read that play right this time.
They did. I think they saw what was happening that time. They stayed home, had good pursuit, strung out there. He had no chance to go around them that time.
And a little extracurricular activity over near the Buckhorn bench, and they've asked the right one to be entertaining for them, Tracy Walker. And of course, some of the Chief players got him out of the fracas rather quickly and back out on the field. Loss on that one, it'll be a loss of 3.
George, I hope this young man, Tracy Walker, he's a junior. I hope next year during the offseason he puts on about 20 pounds and comes back next year and plays with the intensity he's doing this year.
Friend with the ball, they hand it to the blocking back, and he gets handed a Delta hard blow by Bobby Mitchell for another loss of the play. You know, since Bobby fumbled that ball on the run, his intensity has just picked up considerably defensively.
It certainly has. I think he's really trying to make up for losing that ball, and he's doing a good job doing that.
And he knocks the ball carrier down for a loss once again, and the Chiefs take over out at the 27-yard line. It'll be interesting to see if the Chiefs now can put it in gear and get a good drive going at the 37. In Chief territory, we've got Chris Stewart, more prone to the running quarterback style, takes it around the left side on the quarterback keeper. He's dangling the ball rather carelessly there, but maintains possession as he moves it across the 42-yard line. Boy, that scares you to death.
That scares you, George, and that's very, very dangerous. He does not need to carry the ball in that manner. If he does that many times, we're going to lose it.
Coach Lolly aged 2 years on that play.
Yeah, he does that a couple of times. He'll really be facing the sideline.
But the Chiefs maintain possession, pick up 4 yards on a Chris Stewart run. This is a fun time of the game now, leading 35-6, and here comes Christopher. Runs it back to the right side. Robinson, I believe, the ball carrier. Good run, hard up to the 45 on to the 47-yard line, and finally twisted down. Knocked over pretty hard there by Dan Taylor, the senior defensive lineman, and we got a player down. It looks like a Chief over there. And maybe Big Robert Collier, the offensive tackle, on the turf around the 41 or 2-yard line. But the Chiefs pick up a first down. Boy, one thing I've noticed about the reserves from the early games, man, they're playing with a lot of it. Might go down with an injury of a sort, and in this game, experience would be invaluable under such conditions. Jeff Little split wide to the right. Christopher Stewart still under at quarterback with a split backfield behind him. The wide side of the field is off to the left. Third quarter, quick pitch to the left. Thomas Hutchins to the 50, marker down, east of the 45, 40 down to the 39, but I believe the Chiefs be guilty of some infraction on this one.
I believe George had called clipping. Looked like number 39 may have clipped.
Looked like that we had a flag dropped in the vicinity of Chad Appleton over there. But boy, that was a well-executed play. Chris took that thing and just flipped it right out to the little sophomore halfback, Thomas Hutchins, and he made a fine run out of it afterwards.
He did. George, they called holding there, so it was not a clip. It looked like he clipped it when he threw the flag.
And even the partisan fans booed the official after getting a 15-yard penalty called against the opponents, the Chiefs. That moves it back to the 40-yard line. And may give the little running room to the Chiefs here. Chris Stewart steps back under. First down and 20 now. Chris hands it around the right side. Is this Alonzo, or is that... Anyway, the ball carrier gets up across the 45, 47-yard line. We'll pick him out of the stack momentarily.
George, you know, a lot of people wonder, you know, what'll happen to a running back when Holloway and Sammy Matthews graduate this year, well, we're looking at them here, and they're doing a good job moving the ball.
Hutchins and Robinson, two fine sophomores, and Robinson just picked up about 7 or 8 yards on that play. Here comes the Chiefs around the right side once again. Up across the 50 and down to the 49-yard line comes Thomas Hutchins. And one thing about it, boy, they're playing against the best to be offered by 4A over here in Buckhorn. This is their first unit defense still on the field, and they're learning what it is like to get hit by the big guys.
They are, George, and you brought up a good point there a while ago. The game experience that these young kids get in these games, there's nothing as valuable. You can practice, but nothing will take the place of game experience.
Chiefs now with 189 yards on the ground, got the wide side of the field to the left, and you can just see the confidence building by these reserves. Chris Stewart steps under at the 49-yard line. He looks, hands inside, driving straight ahead. It'll be shy of a first down as he gets down to the 45, maybe on into the 44-yard line. As Neil Shavers has been inserted into the backfield. He is a tough customer for the Chiefs. Neil Shavers, 5'10", 150 pounds, only a sophomore, fullback. And he likes the contact, likes to play the game, and the Chiefs will be in punt formation with Alonzo Eldridge. And that will conclude the third period of play. So at the end of 3 quarters, our score, the Chiefs 35, Buckhorn 6. We'll be back in 60 seconds. They just half looks like defensively now as the Bucks will take over. Alonzo gets the ball, kicks from his own 45-yard line, kicks away from the secondary, and it goes down. It looks like a clip downfield, but they pick the ball up and running it back up now. Marker is dropped around the 10-yard line as Picard runs it out of the end zone or down near the end zone, back up to, I don't know, they haven't spotted the ball yet. Around the 15-yard line. Looks like that's where they'll spot it, at the 15-yard line. Fourth quarter with 11:45 to go, and it'll be on to West Point. And the Chiefs will remain undefeated. We're almost for sure of that. And we're so certain of that, it looks like that our coaching staff.
A little bit of the worry is probably gone now, George. This late in the game, leading with a 35-6 score, so they can kind of take it easy and start relaxing.
As the Bucks are marched back down toward their own goal line, they march off a penalty against the Bucks. And running around the left side with a little running rub out across the 10, 15, up to about the 17-yard line. As Bucks get near first down yardage. Run the little trap play from right to left that time out of the Notre Dame box. That looks like maybe the Chiefs will be penalized. This is the third major distance job, face mask call against the Chiefs, and that'll give the Bucks first down number 12. They've gotten about 5 of theirs on penalties, though. 11:37 to go in the fourth period. 35-6 our score. Damon McDonald, the senior tight end, goes into the game. As coming out of the contest is David Picard, and he's taking a lot of punishment tonight. As the Bucks have it first and 10, they're out at the 32, 33-yard line. Ball goes to Friend, fakes left, back to the right. He's open across the 40. Down the sideline he'll go. He's to the 35, 30, steps out of bounds at the 23-yard line. As Marcus Friend takes it around the right side, picks up big yardage. All the way down to the 23. So that's first down number 13. And now they take the lead in that department. After about a 47-yard run, got 163 yards on the ground. It's 1st and 10, and the Chiefs run their starting unit back on the field, primarily the starting crew. Marcus Friend with the signals again, hands it to Middleton off the right side. He's got 2, 3 down inside the 20 on to about the 17-yard line. Knocked down by Garner. Also into the play for the Chiefs, Neil Shavers. Alonzo Eldridge. And James Shavers into the play. Picked up about 4 on that run.
Number 11, Martin Middleton tonight, has done some good running for Buckhorn. He's picked up a lot of good, powerful yards.
Tough yards. Ryan Jones runs it to the left this time on a penalty play. Looked like it may be a holding call over there against Tracy Page, the big senior guard who had pulled to try to block for the little running back. An illegal block by the Buckhorn Bucks, and that's going to cost them major yardage. Only the 3rd penalty tonight against the Bucks, though, if this one goes, and indeed I think it will, as the Buckhorn huddle moves back up the field. And the official steps a penalty off out to the 33-yard line and makes it 1st down yardage down inside the 15-yard line. From the 33-yard line, 2nd down, 21 to go. Ball goes to Friend, fakes to the left, runs it back to the right, gets by 1, got a little running room. He's to the 25 on down to the 24-yard line.
They were in motion.
But no call was made, so it'll be 3rd down now and 12 yards to go after a gain of 9 on that one. 35-6, and the Bucks are catching up in the yardage department. They have 176 on the ground. Notre Dame box, Friend is back, looks downfield, shoots a pass. It'll be tipped and almost intercepted by Harris at the 15-yard line, batted out of bounds. So they're 0 for 5 in the passing department with 2 big eyes that will return for touchdowns. 4th down, 12 yards to go. And once again, not really important, but he still lost a yard on the spot of the ball after the incompleted pass.
It's amazing sometimes, George, these spots, I tell you. But even at that, I don't think we'll ever run into one, I hope, like it was at Franklin County.
As the Bucks line up on 4th down and 12, that grew to 4th and 13. Picard back, loops it downfield. It'll be... And he stepped out of bounds, but they didn't call it. Buchanan back out across the 15, the 20, 25, 30 on up to the 34-yard line. Man, oh man, what a play. Should have batted the ball down. That was the first mistake. The second mistake was he stepped out of bounds at the 2-yard line, but got away with it and ran it back out to the 33, and that's where they're going to spot him. Poetic justice, I guess.
Well, we had an official right in the area, so he just didn't see it or he didn't call it.
Had his back to the play, I guess. At least he is. The Chief got away with a big one on that one. It's 1st down and 10 yards to go out at the 33. Should have been 1st and 10 at the 2. Because it happened on the near side of the field, he was at least a foot out of bounds.
I couldn't see that.
And 2nd down and 4 yards to go after a gain of 6 by the Chiefs. Now the Chiefs with 195 yards on the ground. Of course, if we're going to call the officiating, call it both ways, and the Chiefs got away with one on that one. And some of the staff a little angry with that. They have every reason to be. 2nd down and 4 yards to go. Chris Stewart still going at quarterback. And a fumble. And down goes the ball, and the Bucks come up with a recovery. Just misread that one for him. Was trying to hang on, didn't know whether to hang on or turn loose, and turned it loose. Everybody did.
He said, Coach Lottie says, this is a fast game. You don't have that long to make up your mind.
And these young players getting a lot of valuable game experience here. Friend with the ball, left to right. Hit, down he goes for a loss of 2 on a good defensive play by Alonzo Eldridge. Well, they've got this thing scouted perfectly. The interior, Alonzo and Chris have made some big plays in the backfield. And only after the assignment was carried out, the defensive end have made their plays likewise.
The defensive end, you know, he said going into this game, it would be real important for the defensive ends to play their games and make their reads. And George, I don't think he really could ask for anything much better than he has gotten the play from the ends here tonight.
Absolutely, and Alonzo with a big play that time. Friend with the ball, had 2 people in motion, no call. Goes to Picard around the left side. Boy, they're reading that play now.
They are.
And down goes Picard after a gain of 1, maybe 2 yards, back to the 39-yard line. It's 3rd down and 10 yards to go. Well, another thing we haven't mentioned today about these players on this particular team, they enjoy playing and learning, and they enjoy playing with each other and for each other.
They do. Really, this team, I think, has probably the most team spirit, play together as a team more than we've had in a long time.
And the Bucks run the old double reverse this time, and here he comes back with blockers up front. Picard with the ball. He doesn't get by, though. Good defensive play there by reserve Brian Robinson. Nails him at the 40. Boy, what appeared to work in the first half is gone Ari for the Bucks here in the second.
George, really and truly now, I give them credit. They had good execution on that play. They set the play up real well, but Robinson just made a good read, came up from the secondary there and made the tackle.
Boy, got a lot of reserves in there. They're making these reads just as well as the first liners, maybe a little bit better.
They are, and they really are, and that goes back to, like you said, these young men, when they practice, they want to learn.
They'll be telling some of these first liners we're looking for a job next week. And they hand the ball to Buster Middleton, and he gets busted in the backfield for a loss. Back at the 44-yard line, a loss of about 6 on the play. And these young reserves playing with that intensity and enthusiasm of the early game going against a tired group of Buckhorn Bucks, and they nail them for a big loss with 6:15 to go. And the Chiefs will take over once again at the 44-yard line. I notice out there we got big Nathan Kirk over on the left side at tackle. Chris Stewart back under at quarterback. We'll pick these young players up for you as best we can here in the closing moments. 35-6 our score. It goes to Robinson to the right. He's into the left. He's down the sideline. He's open to the 50, 40, 30, 25, 20, and out of bounds. They said he stepped out of bounds around the 25, and now the official moving back and forth. I don't think he knows where to stop. Might not even call him out of bounds. He didn't before.
Robinson showed good speed on that run, George. He got through the line to the secondary, had a good burst of speed.
Had a little knack and a little move or two, a la Holloway there. And the Chiefs come up with a big first down and move it down. Let's see, they finally do spot it at the 22-yard line. About 42 yards on that play. And here comes the Chiefs back to the left side. This time it's Hutchins, and he'll get hit and twisted down for a loss of 1, maybe 2. I think that was Tommy Hutchins. No, Harris. Ted Harris caught in the backfield. Wearing number 2 instead of number 5. And Drury had 2 big interceptions, though, for touchdowns. Chris Stewart with the wide side of the field to the right. Gives it to Hutchins. He spins, breaks away from one, gets away from another, but is spun down right near the line of scrimmage, which is the 25-yard line. On a 2nd and 13, no gains. It'll be 3rd down and 13 now. And Chris Stewart. Back under the center at quarterback. 3rd and 13, wing back in motion. Chris Stewart back, looks, shoots a little pass. It'll be completed, maybe for the touchdown. And who caught the ball? As Bobby Garner made a brilliant leaping grab around the 15-yard line and races into the end zone for the touchdown. So it's from Stewart to Garner for 25. As we have Stewart to Garner for 6. And the point after try by Moore kicks it high, long, true and good. With 4:27 to go, and it's on to West Point next week. The final regular season game. A win there will guarantee the Chiefs a championship area-wise. Ryan with the ball, back up across the 10, 15, 20, out to the 25, 26-yard line. As the Bucks will have the ball once again offensively. They spotted at the 25. 4:20 remains. Sorry, the game got interrupted due to technical problems in the second quarter. Wasn't a lot happened in the second quarter. Only a couple of touchdowns. The Chiefs were leading by 3 in the first quarter. And they drop back a little deeper this time, throw it downfield, and Picard turns defensive player and batted it away and keep it from being intercepted. His back defending over there was the North Jackson Knights. Complete about 85% of their passes 15 yards and under. It's a little bit more than most high school teams can produce to ask them to consistently produce those receptions long downfield.
The long pass is extremely hard, you know, to complete because the defender has got time to get over and cover. And that time, the receiver just made a good move, heads up play, and knocked the ball away to keep it from being intercepted.
And they go into the spread, flip it out to Picard. He's open down the sideline. I saw them on film run this one successfully several times as David Picard takes it up to the 40-yard line, and he'll have his first down. That's the first pass completion of the night out to Picard from Friend, and he picks up 15 yards and first down, number 14, and we're all even in that department. Rather amazing with an even number of first downs and a 42-6 deficit by the Bucks. That shows you that you can't really depend a lot on stats.
No, because stats really, if you look at the stats, they're a pretty close ball game, but it hasn't been close.
Trips to both sides in the spread formation. Friend and whistle blows before the play develops. They had triple folks out to both sides of the field that time as wideouts. And one of the games we saw them play on film, they would run the center and the quarterback out wide. Everybody else would be to the other side of the field, and it produced some rather confusing results. Not very productive, but confusing. And here they come once again with trip formations to both sides. And the old run and shoot type. A quick out to Picard, and Picard gets hit immediately as he gets the ball. A well-diagnosed play defensively. Boy, one thing obvious, the Chiefs have worked on this even.
They have worked on this, George, and again, we might point out that this is the reserves in here making these good reads and these good plays defensively.
And the reserves not only pay attention, do the same thing, but they've been hammered on a lot all season, and they're anxious to play as well as possible when they get their opportunity, and they've done that tonight. Back to pass, Friend. He loops it upfield, gets hit, and a great, great catch by David Buckhorn up across the 50. Great catch by the young back, David Buckhorn.
George, we had good coverage on that play. All you got to do is you got to give him credit for a great catch.
And they have come up with a 27-yard gain on the play and a first down of number 15. And he's got it all the way down to the 46-yard line in Chief territory. First down, 10 yards to go with 2 minutes and 52 seconds remaining in the game. 42-6. And the offensive machine spreads them all across the field with 2 linemen on each side with a back behind them. And Friend shoots it out to Picard. He takes it in at the 50, runs it across the 45, breaks open momentarily, down tight ropes along the sideline to the 39-yard line. Picks up a basket. That's over beyond Coleman. Here comes the pass out to Picard. He gets hit hard, and on the play was John Reimer in playing defense with a good hard tackle. and knocked him forward for enough yardage for the first down. And once again, for the short passing game has been the success story here in the last few minutes by the Bucks.
It has, George, and I really expect to see that receiver on that particular play maybe catch the ball and then throw it downfield again. I don't know. It looks like they may be trying to set up something with that particular play.
And they've got them spread the same way once again. First down, 10 yards to go, 45-yard line, and getting hit, getting away, but not getting away from the other two or three. A drop for a big loss goes Marcus Friend back out at the 43-yard line. And Friend ran into an enemy powwow over there in the name of the Chiefs. As looks like we may have a ninth grader out there now in on the play. Is that Stafford Henry making the play defensively for the Chiefs? I believe it was.
25, is it?
So we've dipped down into the freshman crew now. Boy, we've got some promising young players in the 8th, 9th, and 10th grades spread all across our program.
Absolutely, George. You look all the way down, got some good athletes coming up.
And Marcus Friend dropped back, shoots a pass across the middle. Incomplete. It was behind Picard. And once again, he was having to throw that thing about 20 or 25 yards after his drop. And your efficiency ratio is cut more than half once you go beyond 15 yards, even at the pro rank.
George, I felt like, too, that the 9th grade team this year, you know, they went 5-1, beaten by 14-12 to Gunnersville. And Stafford Henry is one of these players. They have some good athletes on that team that'll be coming up next year.
Certainly looking forward to watching these young fellows develop. Friend back, shoots a long one downfield. It'll be picked off by the Chiefs at the 32-yard line. And who got that one for the Chiefs?
Brad Lolly.
And I believe that may have been Brad Lolly. The little safety man back there, and he just quickly grabbed it out of the air. And the Chiefs have the football after about an 8-yard return, 10-yard return by number 10. And the Chiefs will have it with 1:04 to go in the game at the 34-yard line. And we've got Brian Payne in at quarterback now with under a minute to go. Payne back, hands to Hutchins to the right side. He's got 5. He's on up to the 37 or 8-yard line. Been interesting watching this officiating crew operate tonight. When the ball is spotted down, the man who normally spots it just kind of wandering around.
Well, he spots it somewhere between the lines.
And it's at the 42-yard line now. 2nd down and 7 to go after a gain of 3. David Hughes with the ball, runs it across the 45 up to about the 49-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 Chiefs. The Chiefs have run up to 245 yards now. 15 first downs, but they run up a big score with 12 seconds to go, 42-6. And have the football, 1st down and 10 yards to go, and this will be the end of the game. They're going to let the clock run out. Coach Lolly's never been one to run the score upon anybody that I can remember. And he doesn't do it tonight because this could have really been out of sight, I think. 42-6, our final score. The Chiefs winning number 9 and should maintain their 4A ranking at the top of the stack to go into the final regular season game next Friday night over at West Point High School.